So I've got my UFO, I've got my clone with a shader effector that's creating this variation in color across the windows. I want to glow these in After Effects. I don't want to glow them in Cinema 4D because to change the glow, I have to re-render the whole scene. If I want to animate the glow, it's very slow to render and test. But if I do glows in After Effects, I can change them and animate them really quickly. So that's going to give me the flexibility to make more changes more quickly. That's why we're making these glows in After Effects. So I need some way to isolate these images, these objects in After Effects, and we use an object buffer to do that. So an object buffer is a black and white image, and it identifies different parts of geometry. It outlines them and colors them in white, the same way an alpha channel is a black and white transparency channel. So how do we create an object buffer for our windows? We're going to select this Windows cloner. We're going to go to the Tags menu. We're going to go to Cinema 4D Tags and turn on or select a compositing tag. So we've added a compositing tag to our cloner. So this compositing tag does all sorts of stuff, but what we're interested in is this tab called Object Buffer. So an object buffer is basically just a label. We're labeling these objects so that we can identify and do something with them later on. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on Object Buffer number 1 for this cloner. So that's labeled this object in the Cinema 4D scene. What we also have to do is we have to tell the renderer, make sure you actually draw this object buffer. At the moment we've only turned it on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my render settings. So Command B is the shortcut. And I'll just record this and then I'll come back to you. Then I'm going to go into multipass and I'm going to add an object buffer. Now what's really important is that the number of this object buffer has to match up with the number that we just made. So object buffer number 1 is our cloner windows. Object buffer number 1, I'm going to rename it here. I'm going to call it 1 cloner windows so I know what it is. And I'm going to turn on multipass. That means this will get rendered. So what we've done is we've labeled these objects as object buffer number 1, and we've told the renderer, render out this object buffer and it's number 1. So those numbers match.